notice there's one gap that does not get lit. I'm going to explain this. So you have 5 gaps that get lit, and the 6th one does not. Okay, so what's happening here is on these two right here, you have each lead from a transformer, the high voltage transformer. So let's say at any instance the power is coming in this side here, and at the top of this there is the end of a coil that's in one of these black wires. There are 3 of those. This represents 3 coils, which means that each coil has 2 ends. So each end is attached to the opposing end of, like, say this one right here, straight across from this one right here. So this is one end of that coil, and this is one end of that coil. For this one, this is one end of a coil, and this is one end of a coil. And this is one end of a coil, and this is one end of a coil. So when these two get the power coming in, the power comes in on the actual bar right here, and then is fed to the light bulb. So when it comes in on the bar, it automatically wants to reach out for whatever potential is available. So the bar next to it, if you'll notice, has a little bit bigger spacing. There's a little bit bigger spacing between this dark colored bar and this silver bar than the rest of the spacing between the other ones. And that's to keep the spark from just jumping straight across to here. And so what happens is, if it comes in on this bulb, it goes through the light, around the coil, and back to this side over here where it goes back through the light, and it comes out on this bar. So as this one comes in, by the time that alternation happens, it's all the way over here to this side. Well, when this one comes in next, it's alternating current. It is not DC. When this one comes in, it does the same thing and winds up on the bar next to this one right here. So what you have is, this gap is closer than this gap here, so the potential is greater at this point than it is at this point. So you'll make an arc here. When this arc forms, by that time the current is changing again. And so when it comes back to here, you already have an arc forming here, and it will ignite the one next to it because this bar right here is next to this one. So then what happens is you form the arcs going all the way around by the coil that connects the top of the light bulbs, and that's why the light bulbs light and all the sparks spark. So at no time is any one of these sparks actually happening at the same time. It's all, it looks like it's all happening at once, but it is all happening so fast that you can't tell that each spark is happening individually, independently of another spark. And the field collapses on the coils. It causes a back EMF. When the back EMF happens, then you have a pulse of energy in the opposite direction of the original way that the energy was flowing. And when that happens, it creates a spark on the other end of the light bulb. So it is it's an effect where it creates a spring bouncing back and forth that oscillates amongst itself. When I get this spring to oscillate with that spring, then I might have something special. But until that happens, it's just a spark gap that creates longitudinal waves.